If you are not sure that you are in the true religion, do not convince them, because you might be used as an instrument of Satan in bringing them to hell. The question is it improper or bad to convince a loved one or a relative to join you in your religion? Of course it is not. It is not. If you are really a Christian and you have found the true religion, you must exert all effort to convince everybody, not only your loved ones, but everybody, anybody that you can be influential to, must be convinced that you have found the truth. You see, it is one way of loving. It is one way of sharing the love that we have in us, in our hearts. If we have found the truth, to convince our relatives. If you really love your father, your mother, your husband, your children, and if you have found the truth that will lead to salvation, you have to convince everybody possible to join you. Just like, for example, if you have found food which is good for you, you have to share it. And the sizes of food teaches us something very important. For example, you have an apple. An apple is enough for you. So you can eat it alone and enjoy it. But if there are so many apples, you have to share it to others. And there are fruits that tell us to share. Automatically, we must share it to others. If you have seen a watermelon, 6 kilos, can you consume a watermelon 6 kilos big? Of course, if you are going to cut the watermelon, you can share it to as many people as possible to enjoy the good thing that you have found. Watermelons teach us something important. The watermelon says, when you open me so that I will not be wasted and destroyed or spoiled, you give some of my part to other people, because you cannot eat me, all of me. Only fools say that. If you want a husband or a wife, it is good for you to take all of him. All of him. Even his bad breath, you can take all of him. But when it comes to salvation, the good things that the Lord God has to offer must be shared to others. If you really have found the true religion, you have to convince everybody possible, every person possible, to the faith, to the religion that you have found. But take precaution. If you are not sure that you are in the true religion, do not convince them, because you might be used as an instrument of Satan in bringing them to hell. The first thing you must do is to be sure that you really have found the truth. If you are not yet certain that you have found the truth, do not convince yet your loved ones and your relatives. I hope you got that point. You see, the Apostle Paul has done that. When he was already certain of the truth that he found in his life, what did he do? Let us read 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 20. It says,
And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some.
So the Apostle Paul tried his very best to convince people, because he found the truth. That is the intention of a Christian. He is going to associate himself to any kind of person in order to gain them and to convince them and to convert them to his religion, which is the truth. That was the attitude of the Apostle Paul. And the same we must do. If we really are sure that we are in the true religion. But if you are not yet sure, do not act anything or do not do anything to convince your loved ones. Be sure first. And if you are already sure, it's an act of love for you to do. Convince your relatives and your loved ones. I hope you understand that answer.